All right, I'm back finally. We try to do these videos and keep getting behind on things here at the shop. And I talked to you in the video prior about our plans to possibly go no prep racing with the Corvette. After studying it for quite a while, we just decided it wasn't for us. A lot of accidents going on that we didn't like, and people getting hurt, and we just don't want to go that route. Another thing we've been studying is the NMCA NMCA organization, very professional. We've gone to a few of those this summer, and have really for a couple years been watching the NA 10.5 class, which it's back to the small little tires, 10.5-inch tire, and no power adder, so no nitrous, no turbo, no supercharger. It's all naturally aspirated horsepower. So that's the direction we decided to go for the next few years, and decided to make that commitment finally. We've been all over the board with this stuff, but finally made that commitment. And so I'll try to do some videos. We did have to move the car into the power sports shop. The car shop, we didn't have the insulation done, and it's cold here in Michigan and snowy, and just too hard to work on it out there. So we brought it in here. It'll be in the way all winter, but just nice to work on it in the heat. So I'll show you a couple things that we're doing now, and as we go along, I will do a few little videos just to keep everybody up to speed. Some of it's basic for a lot of people, but other people have a lot of questions. So I'll show you a couple things we've been doing. What we will be doing, we're going to start with this engine, big block Chevy that we have already, and an automatic transmission. So we put that in the car. We are building a new engine that will have more horsepower, but initially we don't need that. We need to get the car going, and I need to get my license renewed and the chassis recertified on the car. As most of you know, we're using the name Lunch Money for the car, so doing that. Had to build a new engine plate, so that's this part here, this front aluminum plate. So we got that cut out over the weekend and replaced that. The old one that we had just wasn't going to work, and working on this aluminum shroud for the radiator so that it keeps it cool. You put a shroud on there, and it helps force the air through the radiator. We're going to be pulling that air from the outside, cooler air, forcing it through the radiator from the front, and then a little bit of air should also blow on the engine to help cool it down. We're getting ready to mount this pump on here. It's a vacuum pump, and that will help evacuate the crankcase when it builds up pressure, helps ring seal by hopefully having a vacuum on the engine. So we're working on that, and we'll be putting the headers on it, which we already have, and they're fender exit headers. They come right out here, so that's a pretty nice setup. And this engine will have a tunnel ram on it, which we already have, and we've got that at the machine shop doing a couple changes. It runs a dual throttle body setup, 2 throttle bodies, so this is the top to the intake, and that's what we'll be using. So individual coils, 1 for each cylinder. So that's a pretty nice setup. This car runs, it'll have a Big Stuff 3 computer on it. That's something we're pretty familiar with from the last 10-12 years. Magna fuel pump that's rated at 2,500 horsepower, so on this naturally aspirated setup we'll never be out of fuel. So a couple things that we're doing. So just keeping everybody posted. We had worked on the hood, and of course, like all these projects, it started out was going to be simple, and we were doing the new fasteners for the new Sunoco hood, and our tabs that the fasteners hook to are not going to work. So we had to order some, and of course, like everything now, they're on back order. So they'll be coming in, and we'll get back to the hood project. Right now, that's pretty insignificant for what we're doing. It will go together pretty quickly because we have the parts for the project. So a couple things we got to order. We'll be changing the big tires, which we're calling big tires. They're a 14 by 32, so 14 wide, 32 high. The tire that we're going to, I showed in another video. So this is the tire of choice for the naturally aspirated 10.5 class. So basically it's pretty close to 10.5 inch width across the surface here. It's not tread, but at the surface. So we've got to get some tubes ordered up to fit those, and we'll get those installed. It's going to be a big learning curve. We'll get started and in the spring and get our feet wet and learn, and then we'll put some horsepower to it and see what we can do. You know, our plan isn't to be a bottom guy forever. So keep your eye on our YouTube channel, and we'll show you some stuff. In case you don't know, we do a lot of power sports, so a lot of Yamaha. That's 90% of what we do. Here's a Yamaha YXZ that just got a new engine, new Viper conversion that we did with a turbo, and we've got one over here that's this will make 500 horsepower when it turned up, but we're getting ready for some ice racing, so we'll have it turned down to probably 12 pounds of boost. It's got our new big Mo stroker engine in it, so it'll just be idling at that power level. So always a project in here. All right, then we'll see everybody a little later, and have a good night.